I made a mistake while voting, and Misty brought it to my attention. She did the extra little bit of thinking and research on one of the laws that I voted on my ballot. And so there actually is a way of changing your vote. You can only do it once because you have to cross out the name of the thing that you don't want right there, and then fill in the oval for the thing that you do. You can only do it pretty much once if there's a yes or no question. You can only change your mind once. So what did I change my mind on? It was Amendment 74, which, here's the thing. The perspective I was going at this with was thinking about like individual farmers who might be affected by this. I didn't think of it on a larger scale. And so Amendment 74 said, shall there be an amendment to the Colorado Constitution requiring the government to award just compensation to owners of private property when a government law or regulation reduces the fair market value of the property, right? And I figured that this would play into fracking, whereby a farmer who doesn't own the mineral rights below their land is forced to have an easement where the fracking company gets to come in and put a fracking pad right in the middle of their farm, and they can drill down, and that makes the value of that farm a lot less because they can't sell it, because everybody knows that fracking is probably going to get into the water supply. You know, everyone's afraid it's going to spook people and they're not going to be able to sell their land. So that's the way I was thinking about this, right? Thinking about individual farmers. Well, Misty noticed that there's some interplay here with two different laws on the same ballot, right? And so the other law here is Proposition 112, and this is a statutory law right here. And what that is shall there be a change to the Colorado Revised Statutes concerning a statewide minimum distance requirement for new oil and gas development, and in connection therewith, changing existing distance requirements to require that any new oil and gas development should be located at least 25,000 feet from any structure intended for human occupancy, and any other area designated by the measure, the state, or a local government, and authorizing the state or a local government to increase the minimum distance requirement. So basically this is the new setbacks that a lot of Colorado citizens want for these fracking companies to have to set their stuff, instead of just like 1,000 feet, they want it 2,500 feet away from anything, like schools or houses or, you know, whatnot. And so what I didn't realize with the interplay between this law and the amendment is that it would also work for fracking companies who were able to buy the land, both the topsoil and the mineral rights, and own the land themselves. So if they are forced to not be able to use the land that they bought, then the fracking companies would be able to sue for lost revenue based on not being able to get to the shale because of the setbacks that we enacted as a law. So what is more likely to happen? The fracking companies buying up land, prospecting with their purchases, and then being told that they can't use their land, or farmers being able to sue, saying that they were hurt by the fracking companies? And to me, it's more of a problem of likelihood. You know, which do I think is going to be more likely to happen? Are the people who were prospecting going to sue for lost revenue, or are the farmers going to sue because of the fracking pads being placed on their farms? I think that it's probably more likely that this is going to hurt the government coffers in the way that the fracking industry will sue for lost revenue. And that being the case, that being where I see the more likely thing happening, I think Misty was right, and so I changed my vote and struck through the yes vote for Amendment 74 and filled in no.